Hey guys, this is Rusty 78609, Central Texas, USA. It is 1:19 p.m., 53 top-down degrees in Central Texas, USA. I'm out for a little drive, and I thought I'd touch on something that I may have never talked about. I probably touched on little pieces of it, but let's just assume that you are brand new to RVing. In other words, the idea just crossed your mind today that, hey, I think I'm going to get an RV and go RVing. What are the things you need to know? What are the things you think you might want to know? Where do you begin? How do you get started with this new project? I want to go RVing. Well, do you want to go full-time or part-time? Is this just going to be a weekend thing? Well, I think I want to go full-time. I want to go see the western USA and go dry camping and boondocking and national park camping and state park camping and all kind of stuff. I want to go do the whole thing. Well, where would you begin to do that? Well, again, step one, is it going to be something you live in, or is it just going to be something you play in? Once you've got that answered, then you've got some more choices to make. If it's going to be something to live in, how much space do you need? Or how much space do you want? Most people are going to go with the space they want, not what they need. You're going to need a whole lot lot less space than you want, in my opinion. Because I made that mistake when I started. Who am I? Well, I'm a guy that's 72 years old, and I've been full-time RVing and living in RVs for almost 30 years, okay? Mainly travel trailers. I did rent a Class C motorhome a couple of times, but I have never owned a motorhome. I've only rented them. So, what else? So now you know that you want to go RVing, but you don't know what you want. So you got to start the process. You know, there's a lot of choices out there. You got a fifth wheel. What's that? Well, that's where the hookup is in the back of your pickup, and a bumper pull, a travel trailer, it hooks up to the back of your bumper. Okay, a little different, but it accomplishes the same thing. They kind of look similar. Then you got Class A's, B's, and C's. Class A is the biggest, Class B is the smallest, and the Class C is in between the two. And then there's even one called a B+, okay? But having said all that, so let's say you've kind of honed it down and it's you and your wife and 2 kids. Or let's just say it's you and your wife and a dog, you're retired. And your wife wants a big thing with pop-outs all the way around. She wants to pop out in the kitchen, a pop out in the bedroom, pop out wherever. And you don't really care one way or another. So you're probably going to end up getting a large RV of some type with a lot of slide-outs, pop-outs. That's going to be your starting point. Then you got to have a vehicle, if it's a travel trailer or a fifth wheel, to tow it with. How much is that going to cost you? Well, if you have a big travel trailer, you got to get a big truck. And the same way with a fifth wheel, that's the thing you pull with a pickup. Now, if you get a motorhome, that's a whole lot different. Now, if you get a Class A is a big old school bus. You got to drive down the highway, and they vary in length from about 21 feet all the way up to 40, and maybe longer than that, I'm not sure. And the prices can run anywhere from $50,000 to $1 million, and everywhere in between, depending on how much you want to spend. And but if you have an unlimited budget, go for it. And as far as your monthly expenses, not going to be much different in a giant motorhome than they would be in a travel trailer, actually, believe it or not. Because if you pull into an RV park, they're going to charge one rate. No matter, they don't care what it is. You know, you might be able to. You're not going to get a special rate. The only thing you might get a little different rate on is if it's a 30 amp versus a 50 amp. Well, what's a 30 amp versus a 50 amp, Bruthy? Well, we don't know about that stuff yet. We're just starting. Okay, well, 30 amps is that's the amount of power required to operate everything in your RV, including the air conditioner. And the 30 amp services usually apply to the smaller RVs, and 50 amps applies to the larger, because some of the larger ones actually have two air conditioners, whereas the smaller ones have one air conditioner, and 30 amp service is plenty to run the microwave, the refrigerator, the giant TV, and everything else you're going to have whenever you have a full hookup. What's a full hookup? A full hookup is when you pull into an RV park, state park, national park, or wherever, and they've got water, electric, and septic. Okay? They got all three. That's a full hookup. Some of them are just going to have water. Some of them are just going to have electric. Some of them are going to have water and electric. And then some of them will have full hookups, water, septic, and electric. Well, how do you hook up the septic? Well, you got a drain hose that you hook up to the back end of your, wherever it is on your RV or motorhome, whatever, they're all the same. And it drains into a large septic system at the RV park or wherever you're at. And then you just plug in your 30 amp service or your 50 amp service and hook up a water hose, a drinking water hose, to your RV, and you are good to live just like you live at home. Okay, same thing. Same thing, okay? And, you know, some people that have motorhomes or Class B or Class A's and C's particularly will have a tow vehicle so that when they park their giant school bus somewhere, they've got a little economical car to go driving around in. So that's also another way to do the thing about RVing. So RVing is not just one thing, it's a multitude of different things. And you can pick and choose which things you want for you, okay? For me, I now have a 16-foot Clipper. I've got a 2018 16-foot travel trailer that I live in full-time. I was living in a 26-foot. Why did I go to a smaller one? Because I didn't need the big one. I was expecting visits from my sons and grandson, and they came three times, I think, total in 3.5, 4 years. So I decided, well, I'm going to go back pulling my RV, and I don't want to pull a large RV because just me, and this one only weighs 2,450 pounds, and I can pull it with a V6 pickup so that when I get somewhere and set it up, I've got an economical vehicle to go driving around in if I choose to or need to. So for you guys that are just starting out, you got a lot of questions to answer before you go to step one. What type of RV do we want? Well, go look at them. Go to RV shows and check out all of them and kind of hone it down, you know. You know, how do you find out what you want? Well, I do what's called calculatus eliminatus. And what that means, to find out what you want, find out what you don't want. In other words, go into an RV show and look at the ones, say, well, I don't want a fifth wheel, they're too big or whatever, or I don't want a motorhome, they're not, you know, we can't do that. Or, you know, and then once you get it honed down to something that you think you might enjoy and can afford and it fits your budget for traveling, whether you live in it full-time or not really doesn't matter. You could live in it, they're just like a little house. But having said that, so then, you know, once you get let's just say you've decided, okay, I want a travel trailer. The reason I picked that is because I know a little bit more about travel trailers than I do about motorhomes. Actually, I know a lot more about travel trailers than I do motorhomes. Okay, now you've picked out, and then you think, well, what size do I want? Well, see, there you go. You know, if you're going to be in it full time, you got to get rid of a lot of stuff, because you don't want to have it loaded down with a lot of stuff you're never going to use. In fact, a rule of thumb would be, if there's things in your home that you're downsizing, say, from a home or apartment, and you haven't used these things in 3 or 4 months, then those are things that you can probably get rid of, okay? That you don't need to put in your RV to take camping because you just don't need them. And what you're going to find when you're RVing and camping is you wear very few clothes. In fact, sometimes you may wear the same pair of shorts for 2 or 3 weeks, all right? And the same t-shirt, too, for that matter. Because there's nobody there to see you. There's no keeping up with the Joneses out there. You're not going to the same grocery store. You don't know anybody, so you can dress any way you please and be as comfortable as you want. Me, I wear jogging pants, t-shirts or long sleeve t-shirts, and Crocs 90% of the time. In cold weather, of course, I put on my Merrell walking shoes. But, you know, for you guys that are just starting out, you know, once you get over the hump of making the choice of the type of unit you want, and here's something else I'll suggest while I'm in the middle of this, is also you can rent stuff. You know, rent you a travel trailer or rent you a motorhome and check it out and see what you think, because you may not like that lifestyle at all. You may hate it, okay? And that, you know, you go for a week and see what you think. Because, you know, all that glitters isn't gold, and I've said that a million times. But yeah, for you new guys just starting out, I kind of left y'all out. I always start at point C, you know, where you've already gone through the steps and made the decision and got the travel trailer, and then you're wanting to know how to do some things. Well, you know, and also watch YouTube videos. There's a jillion of them out there. I mean, you pick a type of unit, and there will be videos about it, probably 50 or 60, and or more. And as far as the types, you know, the fifth wheel travel trailer, Class A, B, C, and all that stuff, just do a YouTube search for Class A motorhome. You'll see it. Or Class B motorhome, Class C motorhome, Class B plus motorhome. You know, you'll find them all there. And then, you know, do travel trailer, do fifth wheels, look at all of them on YouTube, and then go to an RV show, and you may already have honed it down to some that you're already interested in, okay? Now, one of my favorites right now, and I would love to have one, but I can't afford it. Even though they're not that expensive, you could probably get one brand new for about $55,000. I know if you say that real fast, it's not very much, but the Phoenix Cruiser 2100 series, which means it's 21 feet long, but it has a full bed that you can actually sleep on without having to put down the dining table or fold out a couch and all that stuff. It's got a separate bed, and that's a pretty cool little unit, and it's only 21 feet long. And, you know, when I'm pulling a travel trailer, I'm about 36 feet long, including the travel trailer. My truck's about 18 and a half feet, and the RV's about the same. So we're about 36, 37 feet. And that's, you know, that's a lot, particularly if you're going to go what's called boondocking, and that's a whole nother story. Boondocking is basically dry camping. What's dry camping? Dry camping means you're going somewhere where there are no hookups of any kind, okay? Probably going to have to use solar, and that's a whole nother ball game, you know? So, you know, when you go somewhere where there's no hookups of any kind, that's called boondocking or dry camping. That's another little catchphrase that you'll need to pick up on, because you may want to do that at some point. And moving right along here, where am I going right now? I'm actually going to go look at RVs right now. I might do a video of a travel trailer here in Burnet, Texas, because they get some of the little bitty ones, you know. And, you know, but again, you know, pick out what fits you, okay? And my opinion now, and has been for years, you know, the less you have, the more you have, because, you know, the smaller your unit, the more flexible you are, the more flexible you are in where you can go camping, it's less expensive to get around in, and yeah, again, but that's up to you. Those are choices you'll have to make, and then you can always change. You know, if you make a wrong choice, you know, let's just say you buy an RV and you've had it for a year, and all of a sudden you say, man, I sure wished we'd have got a whopta instead of a whoopta. Well, then do it. You know, just do it. You know, change. You know, you're not nailed to that thing. Change. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, I did it. I mean, I just sold a 2013 26-footer. I mean, I really don't like to do that. You know, I don't like to sell things, but having said that, here we are at Rogers Motors in Burnet, and I'm going to do some of these little videos, I think. If they've got anything new in, then it looks like they might. So let me pull in here and find me a place to park. I think I'll pull over here like this. There's Crystal Nails. You can get your nails done while you're here. But anyway, guys, for you new people that are just starting out, or you're just dreaming about going RVing, dream on, babe, and enjoy it, because it's a way of life that you, in my opinion, can be very enjoyable, and it can be a lot of fun, and it can be inexpensive at the same time. It can be less expensive than living in a sticks and bricks home or an apartment. So anyway, thumbs up, guy. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye, buy anything you want, but use the link to Amazon products in the description of this video. Why? Because I'm an Amazon affiliate. And if you use the link and go to Amazon and buy anything, I get a small commission, and it does not cost you one dime. The product price will be the same whether you use the link or not. So if it's not too inconvenient, use the link. Okay, having said that, drink plenty of water, take deep breaths, you know, to relieve stress and all that stuff, but drink plenty of water. That'll help you from getting gout, kidney stones, and it'll help you lose weight too. So, but then in the stretch walk, you know, keep your health, because without your health, guys, all this dreaming about going RVing ain't going to happen, or if it does, you're not going to be happy. Anyway, adios amigos, bye-bye.